This is Ron Wade again with another little technical tidbit. Today we're going to talk about the PLL bandwidth for zero delay buffers in PCI Express based timing systems. So the drawing on the board here is your classical DBC axes on the vertical side, that's decibels with respect to the carrier, in this case 100 megahertz, and a frequency plot across the bottom here. And the common bandwidth for zero delay buffers to choose from is either a nominal 1 megahertz bandwidth or a nominal 3 megahertz bandwidth, as shown by the blue and the red curves here. So a lot of times we get the question, well, which bandwidth do I use? Why are there two? And the reason there are two bandwidths is that we don't want the jitter peaking to line up on two cascaded buffers. If you're using only one buffer in the system, it doesn't really matter which bandwidth you pick, although generally we recommend the high bandwidth setting here, the 3 megahertz setting. When you are cascading PLLs though, you don't want two of them in a row to be the same bandwidth setting. The reason for that is this thing called jitter peaking. In this case we have I'm showing a 3 dB jitter peaking on the 1 megahertz bandwidth setting and a 3 dB jitter peaking on the 3 megahertz bandwidth setting. Usually our parts are less than that, but 3 dB represents twice the power or twice the energy at that particular point. So if we were to take two buffers cascaded in a row, two zero delay buffers, and we set them to the same bandwidth setting, we would have a 3 dB jitter peaking at the same point on the two parts. So if you remember the old adage, adders on a log table multiply, we would have 3 dB adding to 3 dB, which would give us a 6 dB total jitter peaking here. And the result of that is 2 times 2 is 4 times the power. So adders on a log table multiply. So 6 dB is 4x the energy or 4x the power at a particular frequency. We don't want that. So that's why there's two different settings for cascading the PLLs. In the case of only one PLL in your system, we recommend the high bandwidth setting if you're using the zero delay buffer mode. That's it for today. Thank you, and you can contact IDT at the address indicated below.